Welcome everyone. Namaste. Welcome to day 2 of 40-day meditation challenge. So today, before we begin the meditation, welcome everyone. Namaste. Wait. Welcome to day 2 of, I think that's the recording. All right. Sorry for that. Okay. So before we begin and dive into deep meditation, I want to emphasize on this aspect of that we are gonna begin our daily sessions sharp on time, which is mentioned in the groups, 6 a.m. IST, and please convert the time in your preferable time zones. Okay. So that means that you prepare yourself before 6 a.m. Simply take a bath if you, it's absolutely highly recommendable. Take a bath, prepare your surroundings, arrange your water bottles, and, find a comfortable spot wherever you want to create your sacred space. Make that arrangement before 6 a.m. IST. That is a sign of a sincere seeker. So you prepare your sacred space before joining in, and you're comfortable before joining. All right. So now, again, before meditation begins, I want to quickly share a little bit about science of meditation so that we understand what we are doing, why we are doing, and how to do it properly. Right? If you can open your cameras, I would highly request to do so that I can connect with you more. All right. Let me share my screen. A second. So today, before meditation, let's just quickly talk about science of meditation. All right. So you see on my screen, posture of meditation. So there's a 3 basic points, okay, that we already discussed yesterday and experienced also. I'm quickly gonna talk about it in details. So first point is right posture. Okay, what is a right posture? Sitting comfortably, no stiffness in the body, no straightness, strain in your back and stiffing your back, collapsing your hands, crossing your legs, and gently closing your eyes. Okay, that's the right posture. Now, the second point is observing your natural breathing. Okay, witnessing your breathing. No focusing or no forcing your breath to be deep or long or short. However it is, many people ask this question, how should be the breath? Sometimes some people experience short breaths. Some people experience long breaths. So it is whatever your natural occurrence of breath is, whether it's short or long, let it be. Just witness it, however it is happening in that moment for you. Okay. The third point is cutting all your thoughts. Now, what cutting all your thoughts means? It means not fighting your thought. It means simply detaching yourself from your thoughts and coming back to your breath. Let thoughts be there. You don't have to fight it. Just be with your breath. Now, why with the breath? Why only with the breath? So the beauty of breath is that when you're with your breath, your mind naturally becomes empty. You don't have to put an effort to make your mind empty. it naturally becomes empty. How? So let's say we know that there's so many techniques. Many people ask, why can't we, chant mantras? That is also a form of, they say, a meditation or visualization, or let's say focusing on a flame or a point or a light, or visualizing or remembering our gurus, okay, or a picture image. No, none of this. So any of these techniques, if you're using mantras, even if you're doing mantras, you're using your mind to repeat that mantra. So if you're using your mind can't be empty, right? Or you're visualizing, you're using your mind to focus on that or creating that image. So while you're using your mind, you can't have an empty mind. But the goal of meditation is emptying your mind. Now, why just be with the breath? Why breath? Why using breath to become empty? Breath is a beautiful automatic occurrence. To give you a proof, clinically, when you are brain dead, or let's say when you're in coma, you're still breathing, right? So that's the facts. That's the proof that this breath is beyond your mind. This breath goes beyond your mind. So your breath is the bridge of you connecting with yourself and going beyond your mind. So that's why we use our breath, a natural, tender, soft breath. So that's the science of meditation, right? So now, it will help you understand what you're doing better. So let's begin our meditation. Are we ready? Are you ready to meditate? Awesome. Awesome. All right. So let me just quickly share. Okay, completely relax yourself. Bringing yourself in this present moment. Close your eyes, clap your hands, cross your legs. And observe your body getting relaxed. And coming back to your natural breathing. Witness how your breath is going in and how your breath is coming out. When you're with your breath, your mind naturally becomes empty. Simply being with your breath. Simply be with your breath. Last 10 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one, zero. Slowly unclasp your hands and gently place them on your eyes. And open your eyes whenever you feel ready. Take your time. If you want to sip some water, please go ahead and do it. If you want to do some stretches, shake your hands, shake your body, do it. Take your time. All right. How was it? How was today's meditation? You can raise your hand or write it in the chat. And again, I request each one of you, if there is not any difficulty, please open your cameras. This is an interactive session. This is a sacred space where we connect with each other. So please, please, please open your cameras. Kiran says, I feel sleepy. Great. That means you need that much energy. You need that much rest. So, I talked about science of meditation before beginning the meditation. And now let me quickly just take a moment and talk about why do we place our hands on our eyes and why do we do not open our eyes immediately. Okay. So when we are in meditation, we are experiencing altered space of consciousness. We are sometimes out of our body. Okay. We are into deep meditation. So if we immediately open our eyes, we lose a lot of energy. So that's why always gently open your eyes. Okay. Your and why to place your fingers on your eyes is because your fingertips, whatever the excess energy that you're gaining, cosmic energy, while we're meditating, we're gaining cosmic energy. So whatever the excess energy that is stored in your fingertips, because your fingertips are very sensitive, your fingers are very sensitive. So whatever the excess energy that is stored in your fingertips, you give back to yourself through your eyes. Your eyes is also very sensitive. So that's why open your hands and place them in your eyes. Okay. Now, um, uh, are you ready with your pen and paper and your notebooks? Yes, come on, tell me, are you ready? Are you with me? Are you feeling sleepy even after getting up from meditation? If yes, drink some water. Great, that's great. Vanshika is saying I was moving slowly and I felt some heaviness near my stomach. All of this is great, great experiences. It's all healing. So today we heard music theta. So or theta, that's how it's pronounced. So it's a again frequency. We're gonna talk about more about how music or frequency help us in coming days. All right. Hiteksha is saying it was okay for me today because I was late, but okay, Hiteksha. Anybody giving any time, any excuses, I would want that person to come up front and speak. Okay, no excuses at all. Why were you late? First, ask yourself that question. And if you are coming late, you're knowing that, do not give the excuse. You're here, that is it. Okay. Now, what happens after you being here? That is important. Okay. So now you must come on time if you don't want to disturb your meditation. That is what you have learned today. So don't take it as a punishment, but take it as a lesson. Every movement, every action of yours is teaching you something. So learn from it. What is it teaching you? What this experience of coming late, joining meditation late taught you? That is it. Simple. All right. So we are ready with a pen and paper. I am going to share my screen of PDF. If you're I would request you to read with me. So I'll be reading line by line with you, okay, each day. So if you are seeing the screen properly, read with me on the screen, or if you want to open the PDF separately on your laptops or phones, go ahead and do it. And if you have paper bag or hard copy, that is superb. Read from your hard copies and paper bags. All right. So let's begin the book reading session. Are you ready? I want to see your Josh. Come on, you just meditated, just accumulated so much cosmic energies. Where is the Josh? Where is the energy? So Josh is a Hindi word of having a lot of energy. Very energetic. All right. That is it. Okay, that I see some Josh. All right. Okay. Good. Because I need all your attention in this moment now. Because we're reading together. No sleepiness. If you're feeling sleepy, drink sip some water. So, all right. Let me share my screen now. And on daily basis, whatever we read, go back, read it again. After we read together, take out time and read it again. So, before we begin, also, I want to tell you what to do with your journals. Whatever the important points that you are finding while we're reading together, whatever you feel resonated with, write down those points in your journal. And whatever experiences you're having in your meditation, write it down. So, Vanshika, you had your experience, whatever experience you had, just write it down. Day to day, note it down your experience, note down what you're learning from this session of 1.5 hours. And not only that, I want each one of you to take the habit of journaling for each day after the session as well. So before you go to sleep, ask yourself, well, how was your day today? Mindfully, what were your thoughts of life? How were your emotions? What did you learn separately from this session throughout the day? What did you learn? What was today's message for you? All right, do that before going to sleep every day. And if you are comfortable, share it with us. Share in the group or share in the, here in the meeting. All right, having said that, let's begin. So today we are going to begin. Are you able to see my screen properly? All right. So we are going to begin with introduction. I request everyone to, if they are interested, go ahead and read the forwards. Before introduction, there are some forwards, and that's also very important and interesting. Please do and read that. Every word in this book is very important. All right, let's begin. Introduction. The greatest habit you can ever break is the habit of being yourself. When I think about all the books on creating the life we desire, I realize that many of us are still looking for approaches that are grounded in sound scientific evidence, methods that truly work. But already new researches in the into the brain and body, the mind and consciousness, and a quantum leap in our understanding of physics is suggesting to expanded possibilities on how to move forward towards what we initially know as our real potential. So here also he's talking about that a logical mind always seeks some scientific evidence, logical evidence. All right. But scientists from so long have already been preaching about this idea that whatever you want, whatever the power that you're seeking outside is already within you. All right. Okay. You have the potential within you. As a practicing chiropractor who runs a busy integrated health clinic, And as an educator in the fields of neuroscience, brain function, biology, and brain chemistry, I have been privileged to be at the forefront of some of this research, not just by studying the field mentioned above, but also by observing the effects of this new science once applied by common people like you and me. That's the moment when the possibilities of this new science become reality. So in this introduction is already just gonna be how Joe Dispenza wrote this book, what is his idea behind it, and a little summary about all the chapters mentioned here. Okay, but it was very interesting. That's why I wanted to begin with introduction. As a consequence, I have witnessed some remarkable changes in individuals' health and quality of life when they truly change their mind. Over the last several years, I have had the opportunities to interview a host of people who overcame significant health conditions that were considered either terminal or permanent. Per the contemporary model of medicine, these recoveries were labeled as spontaneous remissions. However, my extensive examination of their inner journeys it became apparent to me that there was a strong element of mind involved, and their physical changes weren't so spontaneous after all. This discovery furthered my postgraduate studies in brain imagining and discovering imagining neuroplasticity, epigenetics, and psychoneuroimmunology. I simply figured that something had to be happening in the brain and body that could be zeroed in on and then replicated. Understood? That it is all about. So what he's telling is that all right, she's he because he was in the research, because he was in the field of neuroplasticity, studying that and teaching that, he came across many people who healed themselves after being considered as going through a disease which is either permanent or terminal. All right. And doctors or professionals, labeled them as some spontaneous remnants. But he observed that that was their healing journey, their inner journey was not so spontaneous after all. They worked on their mind. They had to do they had to do some inner work and do repeatedly work on their mind. So note that. All right. In this book, I want to share some of what I have learned along the way and show you by exploring how mind and matter are interrelated. How can you apply these principles not only to your body but any aspect of your life? All right. Now, go beyond knowing to knowing how. Many readers of my first book, Evolve Your Brain, The Science of Changing Your Mind, voiced the same honest and heartfelt request, along with a fair amount of positive feedback, such as the person who wrote, I really liked your book. I read it twice. I had a lot of science. It had a lot of science and was very thorough and inspiring. But can you tell me how to do it? How to evolve my mind? In response, I began teaching a workshop series on the practical steps anyone can take to make changes at the level of mind and body that will lead to lasting results. Consequently, I have seen people experience unexplainable healings, release old mental and emotional wounds, resolve so-called impossible difficulties, and difficulties, create new opportunities, and experience wonderful wealth, just to name a few. You will meet some of these people in these pages. It is not necessary that you read my first book to digest the material in this book. But if you have been exposed to my work, how to how to uh, how to companion to evolve your okay, sorry, I missed a line. If you have been exposed to my work, I wrote Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself to serve as a practical how to companion to evolve your brain. It is my earnest objective to make this book simple and easy to understand. There will be times, though, that I will have to give you a bits of knowledge to act as a for near to a concept I want to develop. The purpose is to build a realistic working model of a personal transformation that will help you understand how we can change. Breaking the habit of being yourself is a product of one of my passions, a sincere effort to demystify the mystical so that every person understands that we have within our reach all we need to make significant changes in our life. Highlighted. We have all within our reach all that we need to make changes in our life. This is a time in history when not only do we want to know how, or do we not want to know, but we want to know how. Okay, it's very important. How do we apply and personalize both emerging scientific concepts and age-old wisdom to succeed at living a more enriched life? When you and I can connect the dots of what science is discovering about the nature of reality, and when we give ourselves permission to apply those principles in our day-to-day existence, then each one of us become both a mystic and a scientist in our life. So today, I want to ask you all, and take your time to answer it. Are you a spiritual scientist? Are you asking how and why? So when you put how and why before, if you're reading anything or you're joining such sessions, whatever you're learning from it, add how and why to it. When you do your internal research, that is when you become a spiritual scientist. So are you a spiritual scientist? Ask yourself. All right. So I invite you to experiment with everything that you learn in this book. Highlight, experiment, and to objectively observe the results. What I mean is that if you make the effort to change your inner world of thoughts and feelings, your external environment should begin to give you feedback to show you that your mind has had an effect on your outer world. Why else would you do it? So, when you consciously begin to start working on your inner reality, your thoughts, your emotions, that's when you will begin to see change in your outer reality. So if we have any complaints about anything happening outside of you, know that there is some work that you need to do within yourself. If you take intellectual information that you learn as a philosophy and then initiate that knowledge into your life by applying it enough times until you master it, you will ultimately move from being a philosopher to an initiate to be a master. Stay tuned. There is a sound scientific evidence that this is possible. So repetition. The more you repeat what you're learning, what you're reading, what you're observing, the more you repeat, the more you become master of it. And that stands a scientific fact, and that could be anything. If you're observing the negative media and constantly again and again you're reading daily newspapers, negative media, negative newses, or constantly intaking the bad words or negative thoughts of what's happening outside, If you're repeating it again and again, it becomes your habit, and you become master of it. So it implies with any reality of your life, whatever you repeat, you become the master of it. So that's why we are doing this challenge for 40 days, so that we become master of meditation and self-realization. All right. I do ask you upfront to keep an open mind so that we can build step by step the concepts I outline in this book. All of this information is for you to do something with. Otherwise, it's just good dinner conversation, isn't it? Once you can open your mind to the way things really are and let go of your conditioned beliefs with which you are accustomed to framing reality. Okay, read that again. Once you can open your mind to the way things really are and let go of your conditioned beliefs which you can with which you are accustomed to framing reality. What does that mean? So of course we're going to read it in details in this book, that how there are so many belief patterns and there are so many filters of belief pattern that we put forward before we see what is in front of us. All right. And we see the reality, we see the life through those filter of belief patterns. So right now, what he's asking is to keep your mind open and see whatever is written in this book as it is, without putting the conditioning of your mind and belief patterns. Okay. Even if the thought comes, let it be. Let the question, let the doubt, how is that possible? Be there and still read ahead. You will, all those doubts, all those questions will dissolve automatically. That's a promise. All right. Vanchika will take all the questions once we are done with the book reading. Thank you. You should see the fruit of your efforts. That is my wish. That is what Joe Dispenza says, and that is my wish as well. All your dedication for this 40 days, just 40 days, is gonna show the result to you. That is my promise to you, but you have to be sincere and dedicated. That is your promise to me if you are coming here. Okay. The information in these pages is there so to inspire you, to prove to you that you are a divine creator. Highlight it. We should never wait for science to give us permission to do the uncommon. This paragraph is very important. We should never wait for the science to give science/logic to give us permission to do the uncommon. If we do, then we are turning science into another religion. We should be brave enough to contemplate our lives, do whatever we thought was outside the box, and do it repeatedly. When we do that, we are on our way to a greater level of personal power. So today, again, new challenge. Today, I give you the challenge to challenge yourself. All the impossibles that you have in your life, that this is impossible. How, for example, how can I leave my job to follow my passion? How is that possible? I have so much responsibilities. I have my kids to take care of. I have family, I have home, I have bills, I have this, I have that. How can I do this to follow my heart? Today, challenge yourself. This book will make you realize that you have the power within you to achieve all that you have thought and all that you have desired. Given the fact that you do with the follow your passion, be brave enough to follow it, whatever it is. Be brave enough to follow it and do it repeatedly, even if you're failing in the beginning, because everything that you begin is difficult in the beginning. Even if you fail repeatedly, when you do it, you will master it, you will achieve it, you will be successful in it. All right. True empowerment comes when we start to look deeply at our beliefs. We may find their roots in the conditioning of religion, culture, society, education, family, the media, and even our genes. The later being imprinted by sensory experience of our current lives, as well as untold generations. Then we weigh those old ideas against some new paradigms that may serve us better. Got it? How empowerment works. So what is the challenge come? Why we are not able to act on our passions, act on what our inner calling is saying, what our heart is telling us to do? What is that fear? That fear comes from either from what you have experienced in the past, or the beliefs that people have told you that this is how things are supposed to be done. If you do otherwise, you're going against the law or nature or the society or culture or religion. So you have to listen to your heart. All right. Okay. Times are changing. As individuals awaken to a greater reality, we are part of much larger sea of change. Our current system and models of reality are breaking down. And it is a time for something new to emerge across the board. Our models for politics, economics, religion, science, education, medicine, and our relationship with the environment are all showing a different landscape than just 10 years ago. Letting go of what the outmoded and embracing the new sounds easy. But as I pointed out in Evolve Your Brain, much of what we have learned and experienced as being incorporated has been incorporated into our biological self. And we view it like a gentleman. But we also know that what is true tonight might not be true tomorrow. Just as we have come to the question, our percentage of atoms as solid pieces of matter, reality and our interaction with it is a progression of ideas and beliefs. We also know that to leave the familiar life that we have grown accustomed to and waltz into something new is like a salmon swimming upstream. It takes efforts, and frankly, it's uncomfortable. And to top it off, ridicules, marginalization, opposition, and disintegration from those who cling to what they think they know greet us along the way. Understood? All these, for example, now your family members who are not found their calling for knowing themselves yet or getting into meditation yet, they might demean you. What are you doing with your time? Why you're sitting in front of laptop or screens in the morning and being there? What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your time? They might demean you because they might not understand what you are seeking, what you're getting. You might get challenges like, oh, I told, or so you have all your life understood that this is how things work, but now you're understanding that there is some other way to do it. There's some other way to live your reality. There is some other way that you can be free. So you will face challenges. It will be like swimming in the opposite direction of the river. It will be uncomfortable, but take that challenge if you want to see the change. So if you're ready to be uncomfortable, know that you are ready to see the change in your life. All right. Who with such an unconventional bent is willing to meet such adversity in the name of some concepts they cannot embrace with their senses, yet which is alive in their minds? How many times in history have individuals who were considered heretic and fools, and thus took the abuse of the unexpectational, emerged as geniuses, saints, or master. We all know Einstein was called fool. Einstein was so demeaned for his researches, for his inventions, that he's a mad, crazy person. Or any geniuses, they first are called fools, crazy, weirdos. But later, when they get into the level of their understanding, they call them geniuses. They preach them as masters, gurus. So if anybody call you crazy for doing meditation, if anybody calls you waste of time, let them, because they don't know what you are gaining, what you are doing. Don't get into the, you know, uh, judgment or beliefs of others. In this book, clearly you will understand how to detach yourself, how to know that what your beliefs are and what you have accumulated from environment. So we put a belief in other people's bucket. What their parents, their elders, they have seen life, their experienced life, whatever they're telling me is the truth. I will blindfoldedly listen to them. Or my boss is telling me, or my mentor is telling, or anybody. We don't listen to our heart. We stop it completely, cut off. No, I'm a fool. I don't know. They know. They have experienced. All right. Okay. So we'll start from tomorrow from this. Change as a choice instead of reaction. All right. Stopping the screen share here. And now we are open for discussion. All right. Please, please, please open your cameras if you can, because I would love to see you. How was it? What did you understand? If anybody wants to share, please go ahead, raise your hand, and come on. Let's talk. Okay, so there are no questions. All right. Okay, Vanshika, 1 second. Let me just put you on spotlight and ask you to unmute yourself. Okay. How can I wait? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, hi Nandini. Hi everyone. I just had this question while we were reading. See, like you said first that we should question everything, like we should ask ourselves before believing everything, like the how and why of everything. But here, like again, it's saying that you don't have to create like bring your own judgments when you are reading or whenever you are like in this book. It read like this. You also told. So, like it's contradictory. So, how does that work?
Now, actually, it's not. So,
Okay.
understand what it is saying. Have doubts, but do not. Okay. Let me explain you with an example. So I said that I say that all right, this glass is of black color. Can you see the glass? This glass is of
Yeah.
black color. All right. Now you're seeing and understanding, you're having a doubt that your vision is telling you that it is of copper color. Okay. But I'm telling you, so now you, if you're not let, if now the why and how is coming, but after how, so you're going into it, right? And you are getting into the depths of it, and whatever the answer you're getting, you're believing onto it. But
Okay.
you're not just letting, okay, the person is saying that it's black, but I believe that it is copper, and I'm gonna stay at that. You have to question your
Hmm.
doubt. Whatever the
Hmm.
doubts are coming, whatever the questions are coming, whatever the logical mind is playing, role at that moment for you, ask why that thought is coming in my mind. I want to understand it. So dwell on it. That's how and why.
Okay.
So you ask your question to do the research, whether it's about what other people are saying, or you're reading, or what you're understanding in the session, or in the book, anywhere, or what is coming up from within you. Especially what is coming from within you, you need to ask why and how. That's how we go into the depth and core of anything.
And yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Do we have more? How is it? How was it? Because it was the beginning of it. How was the reading book together as an experience for you all? Okay, Praveen, would you like to talk about it with the group? And so Praveen has messaged me that how does regular meditation practice impact brain structure and function? Okay, so in details, Praveen, we are gonna understand this in during the book reading as well. But in short, if you want to come on screen, can you come on screen, Praveen? Can you open your camera so that I can put you on screen and talk? We can talk to each other then. Okay, he's saying no. All right, I respect that. Okay, so how does meditation impact our brain? First of all, what meditation does is help us getting into the state of no mind zone, emptying our mind. So once we achieve that, we tap into the consciousness level of, let's say, uh, so we are on, for example, usually we live on a survival mode. Okay, what does survival mode is? So survival mode is whatever is in front of the whatever the situation is, we find the quickest way to deal with it, despite understanding, using our instincts, not our intuition. Instinct, and instinct is also available with animal kingdom. I'll understand that. So even animals can have instincts. So like touching a fire. So touching a fire, it's hot. So your instinct will tell you that it's hot, stay away. Okay, that's instinct. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, now staying in survival mode, that whatever staying with those beliefs and acting on it from it without checking on whether why, what is happening, why is happening, how can I do better in that situation. No, you are in your survival mode when you're not acting from your heart. All right. Now, um, when we do meditation help us clear our clouded mind. Okay, it help us make space for us to tap into our subconscious mind and supraconscious mind. Okay, and when we tap into that energy, when we tap into that consciousness, we get aligned to what truly we are here for, what truly our soul purpose is, what our soul mission is, soul lessons are. And then we walk and talk with that clarity. So that's how meditation help us. And I hope that helped you. If you can unmute yourself, we can talk. It's okay. Don't open your camera. Okay, you're saying thumbs up. All right. And more, we are going to understand how, in details, how about the survival mode and everything. We're going to understand in details through this book, because there's a lot of details, a lot of underlinings that is in this concept that we are dealing with. We act, we react to any situation with a lot of filters. We don't know yet. If you're not consciously working on us, we don't know yet that there are so many filters when we see somebody. For example, I'll give you example. Okay, you just came out of your office, right? and you had a very long day, very tiring day, and also on the top of that, you had some conflict with your team members, your manager, your boss. How would be your mood? Your mood would be very frustrated, very stressed out, pressured, and not a good mood, right? So you will use that filter of that emotion wherever you will go. Even if a beautiful sunset is in front of you, you'll find it frustrating. Why the sky is orange today? Why the sunset is so orange today? You know, global warming is happening. That's why this chemical changes are happening, climatical changes are happening. You'll put all those frustration, or the filter of everything, everything that you're coming across, that filter will be there. So that's how it impacts our life. If somebody is coming towards you to give you a lot of love, a lot of understanding is there in that other person, but you are coming from the filter of frustration, you will what you will how will you react to the love that the other person is trying to give you? With a lot of frustration. Many examples. We do it on daily basis. We come back home, we are tired, we're drained, and how do we act when we come back at home? uh Whatever, I don't care how your day was. My day was worse. I just want food, and I just want to have peaceful night. And you do not have peaceful mind because you are still in those filters of emotions and belief patterns. So that's how there's a lot that we're gonna learn from this book and during these sessions. All right, having said that, let me read if there's any other question, or if anybody has any question, please go ahead, raise your hand, we'll talk. We have a lot of time. Come on, utilize it. Yes, Siddhi. Uh, do you want to open your camera?
Hello, Nandini. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Hello.
First of all, I would like to thank you for this great initiative of meditation. It is very helpful. It will be helpful. Also, I would like to share my meditation experience. Firstly, and I had a question that I will ask afterwards. So, while meditating, I was breathing and focusing on my breathing. But firstly, I was judging myself for the shallow breaths. The breaths were not that deep. But then realizing the thought and focusing back to the breath. While focusing, there was no thought, and that felt very nice. Also, in between, I got distracted a few times, but came back again. My question was that for some time my hands got unlocked. So I wanted to ask that what is the significance of locking the hands and legs? That is my question.
Wonderful question, Siddhi. Thank you for asking it. So, first of all, welcome to the course. And where are you from, Siddhi?
I am from Uttar Pradesh. I am currently doing my master's.
All right. Okay. So, Siddhi, if you would have, when did you join the meeting today?
Uh, 5:58.
All right. So then you must have heard me talking about that, however your breath is. I know that you said that you judged yourself, and that's great that you acknowledge, you are aware of that you have judged your breath. So, however the breath is, whether it's shallow, whether it's deep, however it is, let it be. Just be with that particular breath in that moment. The breath is natural. When we force, you will know when you're forcing it, when you're putting your conscious effort to do something with your play with your breath. Like right now, I'm forcing myself to take a deep breath. So you know. So that's not
Yes.
that's what we do not have to do. We do not consciously have to play with it. We have to witness it however it is. So even if it is coming as shallow, witness it as it is. It is your natural process of whatever you might want to experience or experiencing. All right. And the second part, let me give you a detailed science behind the posture. I forgot, and I'm really grateful that you brought this point so that I can tell it to everybody else as well. So our body is energy body, right? So what we are doing with this posture of collapsing hands, crossing legs, and closing eyes, we are locking our energy circuit. So while we meditate, we receive abundant uh, amount of cosmic energy within ourselves through our head, crown area. Okay. So when we close our eyes, we are uh, resuming 80% of energy, because through eyes, whenever we see something, we give our mind signals, and then mind give us the signal to every organ of a body, right? So while closing our eyes, we are resuming 80% of energy. By collapsing our hands, we are resuming 20% of 10% of energy. By collapsing off our legs, by crossing our legs, we're resuming the rest 10% of our energy. So basically, by sitting in this posture, we are locking our energy circuit. So whatever cosmic energy we receive in meditation stays within us and doesn't leak away. So remember, I told you that our whatever the extra excess energy we accumulate in our fingertips, because fingers are very sensitive. So while we're meditating, the excess energy is received or stored in our fingertips. So that's why whatever the excess energy is there, we give it back to our body, because that's very, very, very essential to us. Like our food is for our body, cosmic energy is for our soul, is a food for our soul. So that's the concept and science behind it. I hope it helps.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Salija. Thank you for asking that question. And Harish, you raised your hand. You want to speak about something? All right, let me just unmute you and put you on the spotlight.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Nandini, for this wonderful platform. Actually, everyone is great doing the meditation, but taking one step ahead, that is one of the biggest thing, because there are a lot of people who are new on this. So I just want to share the things, the question asked by Praveen, like how does regular meditation impact brain structure and function? I will give some examples which I already felt. Suppose if we have a habit of anything, or if we do not like anything, and by subconsciously or consciously we have done the practice, we have done that work, so we are going to be realized day after day, like after 2 days, after a week, we have done a good bad practice which we don't want to do. That realization you are going to get it very early. By doing the meditation, you will get that impact right now itself, like, because when you are going to do something wrong, so we are not getting that consciousness at that time, but when you are practicing on a daily basis, you will get the conscious at that time only. I'm not saying it's going to be instantly, but when you are doing this meditation or sadhana, you will get to know it is going, like, time is decreasing day by day. Like, maybe there is a possibility previously you are getting the awareness within a week, but by doing the meditation, you are getting the awareness within 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. It is going to be reduced like this. And there's a one point of a time when we are definitely, you're not going to do that activity which you don't like, or where the body is not accepting, or the mind, whatever it is. So this is one of the experience which I said. And another thing is, we are a habit of things. Suppose while doing the meditation, it's my real practical experience which I am, whatever I'm sharing here. While I'm doing the meditation, so we are taking the blanket, so the mosquito should not bite to me anyhow. So this is one of the precaution. I will take the blanket. Okay, so we are not going to hurt anyone, either it's a mosquito or anyone else. So we are not trying to disturb. So after taking the blanket, and when I'm starting the meditation, I don't want to, like, shake my body a little bit also. Okay, there's no movement which I am trying to be. So there's a one mosquito inside the blanket. So there's a two option. Either I can't hit the mosquito. That is one of the, because clarity in my mind. I don't have to hit anyone, because we don't have the power. We can't burn anyone, so we don't have the power to, like, just to smash anyone. So there's a two option. Either should leave that mosquito and bite me, because it's not going to bite so much. Okay, how much he like blood he wants, that much only, correct? Maximum one bite or two bite. So, or should I disturb my meditation? These are two things. Should I disturb my meditation, or should I let them like bite the mosquito? So when the mosquito bites me, we have a habit of this. Our hand is automatically go and smash it. This is a real experience. You are consciously or unconsciously you will do this. Correct. So at that time I realized ki even though I'm in the conscious mind, but my hand is ready to hit, but I just let them bite, and I just want to be there. I will not react. I will not react. I will be just going to be witness the thing. So after biting, still my like hands wants to itch there, like itching is there because we have habit of this. So if I will itch at that time, so again my hand will go and itch, because once you will touch any biting area, you have a habit of again you are going to be itching that area twice, thrice at least. So at that day, that day I realized when you are not going to do any activity. After biting, I have not done any activity. After 5 minutes, there is no itching. But this is a experience, like the practical experience I am saying. That
Okay.
day, mosquito bites me 3 times.
Mhm.
Okay, I thought it's going to bite only once, but that mosquito bite me thrice, and I just witnessed everything. I not like heated the mosquito, even though he's not taken that much like blood from our body. But our mind is that much created ki we have a power. We have power to to smash that or kill that mosquito. So I get to know at that day when we have the power of full, like we are in the power, we can bite. Nobody is going to tell anyone. Like if we hit the mosquito, if we kill the mosquito at that day, nobody can raise a question to me, correct? But what is my right? We have the all power with me, but it's my decision what I have to do with that mosquito. This is my decision. So that awareness is automatically coming to you. And as the Siddhi asked another question, ki why we are closing the hand, or after closing the hands, like Siddhi hands is going to be open. So I will suggest ki if your hands is going to be open, let them open. You just experience. If you are, if we suppose Nandini will say like, as we have a practice to close the it, and she's
Do
also
you have any
given.
question? Do you have any question?
No. I just want to add up on the things.
All right. No, okay. Let me first explain what you just said. Okay. So what you meant by, okay, if you are, so first point that you said that we need to understand that we do not have power over any other living being. We must respect other person's existence, and then you gave an example that even if that other living being is bothering me, I have accumulated that much patience that I will not hurt and let that being bother me. Okay, here I want to give you a message. All right, that in that moment we need to understand that we do not need to let other person or any other being harm us. Okay, we are not mindless or a dead person that we will let anybody harm us. We will have to also protect ourselves by not interfering in any person's or any other living being's life. So you have to give energetically a message to that other being. We all are energy being. Even that mosquito has consciousness. All right, so you have to energetically ask that other conscious being to not to disturb you. How you're respecting the other conscious being, ask the other conscious being to respect your space. We do not have to train our brain to let anybody walk over us or hurt us or disturb us. No, that's wrong. All right. Then, second point you're talking about that. Uh, so I think that's it. And second thing, first, if you want to speak something, first ask that this is what I add. Always add that this is what I understand. This is what I understand. Okay, this is what my personal experience is. Okay, then you speak about it. All right.
Yeah.
And I believe that you were talking about then when how you were talking about what Shailaja was asking, that even if your hand is getting open while you are getting that intent, and uh, let's say intense thought of opening your hand. That's what you meant, right? But we do not have to open our hands.
No, I just want to say ki let's experience self its own way. Maybe there is a possibility. I'm not saying to open the hand. I'm just saying maybe the experience she will also feel what you said, like how the energy helps, why we are closing the hand.
Definitely. You mean experiment. Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct. Experiment. If you want to open your hand, experiment how you're feeling. But again, in the beginning, we must follow the procedure to be able to get into the understanding of differentiation. If she's opening, or anybody in the beginning, you're acting on your whatever the resilience is, or whatever you're getting, irritation or frustration. If you're acting on it, you will never be able to learn. So first, practice for these 40 days. You have to practice, the right posture. And then once you are into habit of, meditating continuously, when you have experienced what meditation is, then experiment. Now today I'm feeling that there's a lot of irritation in my hand. I want to open it for a second. Go ahead and do it, and then slaps it back. If there's a lot of irritation in your legs, it's okay, open it, but keep it cross. So fundamental science you cannot challenge. The science is blocking your system if you want to experience the maximization of the energy, cosmic energy. If you want to resume the energy and do not want leakages of your energy, you must clasp your hands. All right. But experiment, you are right on the part of experimenting. But experiment should also come with the understanding that you are not biased somewhere. All right. So that understanding should be there. So thank you, Arish.
Thank you.
All right. We have 3 more minutes. Do we have any other question? All right. So for tomorrow, again, like how I mentioned in the beginning of the session, make sure that you join. The session will start on time, which is 6 a.m. IST. Please convert it according to your time zones. So that implies that you are prepared before it. So if it's a morning for you, take bath in the morning beforehand. Create a sacred space. Okay, create a space. So wherever you're sitting, arrange your table, arrange, maybe if you can put some aromatics, aroma, burn some incense, put some fragrances around. Do it. Create a sacred space for yourself before joining in. That is a sign of a sincere seeker, that you are ready for it. You are making a space for this practice. Anything that you do, when you prepare yourself before ahead, you're gonna have a multiplied experience back, because you are preparing not just your mind, your body, your environment, everything. So to have the utmost, let's say, experience of these 40 days, practice it. Imply what I'm telling you, and you will experience it. It's all for your personal growth. All right. Having said that, we are going to meet tomorrow. Thank you for your time, your patience. And today's challenge is that, all right, today's challenge is first that read what we have read together. Okay, go ahead, read it to yourself as well. And if you want to read ahead, that's great, so that you are already prepared and have questions. And after that, I'll give you a challenge in the WhatsApp group. Okay, that's much better. And all right, because we have to be on time. So let's leave now. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.